We need women's help. I think this all changed. I think it really started to go downhill when there stopped being a village, a community, and I think that's the advantage that many of the other ethnicities have over us is because in many cultures, even if there isn't a man present can actually check and correct children. If I tried to do that with anybody in the neighborhood, I'm gonna have folks beating down my door and I'm gonna have to shoot somebody. If you try to correct a black woman's kid and it's not your kid, you're gonna run into problems. You're gonna run into big problems. There is no more village. And so I said all of that to say when the fatherless when the single mother homes went up, the village went down, and you have women trying to raise both boys and girls. You got jaded women trying to raise boys and girls. And I think thusly the result of that is more masculine females and more effeminate boys. We need to get back to being able and being okay with saying with somebody else saying, "Hey, yo, little man, you ain't moving right." But we're not there. We don't do that shit anymore because women won't allow it. Y'all really won't allow that shit. And I'm not talking about you ladies on the panel because I don't know how you operate in your own sphere. I'm just talking about as a whole, as a community. We can't do it. Even as a coach, even as a, a freaking high school coach, if I try to correct a young man up there, their mom is up there at the very next practice to have that conversation and say, "Hey, next time send him to me." Why, ma'am? I think I handled it just fine, thank you. But you allowed your son to come run and cry to you. That's part of the feminine part.
Mhm.
And now you're coming up to try to handle that.
I
This shit
think
is crazy.
I think the other part to that AP as well is the society as a whole has changed, because there are, like, my husband example, he grew up without his father, but he's still a man. His mother never, once they got divorced, his mother never dated anybody else, because for her she was like, I don't want him to ever see me with another man, so she was putting that on hold or whatever, so she never dated. So she raised him. His father wasn't in his life, so he was raised without his father since he was 8. So my thing is that our fathers, very important. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're not only important, they're necessary. However, if you're in a raised in a, home by a single mom, I think the difference with him being raised at that time by a single mom versus being raised by a single mom now is that the society values were different then. So even though she was a divorcee, the community itself, they still all shared the same values in regards to family and what's being important and how to raise your kids and all of that. The difference now is that those same values are no longer there. We value something totally different. And so I think that's a result of that. And so that's why I think men are, in this day and age, are struggling to be men, because the value system has changed about what being a man is.
I can
Okay.
agree with that.
Let
I
me
can
let
agree
me
with
jump
that.
in here. Uh, I mean, I think everybody's making good points, but let's just be real about why men aren't men aside from them being raised by women. You get demonized. Masculinity is straight up
Woo.
demonized. Okay? The normal behaviors of a masculine man are so demonized that women think it's aggression. when they just don't know what an actual masculine man looks like. Women misinterpret the behaviors and characteristics of a masculine man. Most women in society, and the women that are doing that were taught to do so, right? They only, I think I said it in the chat earlier or in the group chat earlier, women romanticize what they believe a good man is. Only men determine what good men are, but somehow women will always say strong and humble, docile and strong. Like, excuse me, none of that is how we describe each other or the men that we as men look up to. Now, let me make my claim for why I believe women are unhappy. And y'all ready for this? It has absolutely nothing to do with men. Not really, anyway. Women are unhappy because y'all bought a lie you can't return. Women leave every type of man there is. That's how I know it has nothing to do with men. A woman now in today's society will leave a good man. She will leave a stay-at-home dad. She will leave the CEO of a corporation. She will leave a man who cooks. She will leave. There is every type of man that a woman talks about on on YouTube streets. She will leave him. So that's why I said the problem is not men, not necessarily anyway. Women are realizing that their mothers and their mentors failed them. The way that most women have modeled their life is screwed up. And the way you modeled it is after a man. That's what women have been chasing. They have been chasing the accolades and the life setup of men. That is why you covet work and career so much, because you thought that's what men valued. I think women love to see us back in the day, or love to see their fathers shooting the shit with other men over a cold beer, and they say, I'd love to have that same thing going on for me. And women in mass have tried to replicate that, but it's not the same thing. And the reason why, and this is my last point and I'll shut up, women misunderstand till this day why men do what we do. You thought we got fulfillment and happiness out of work. We get fulfillment and happiness from what that job allows us to do, which is take care of what we actually love. We go to that job and sweat it out. There are men who work jobs they don't even like for 30 years straight because it gave them a way to take care of their kids, their wife, and whatever else situation. Gave them a way to take care of their family. That is what actually brings men fulfillment. So when women go out in the world and try to replicate that and think they can actually acquire real happiness from a job, that is why most women are unhappy. Because they ask them how they want to set up their life. I got to go to school. I got to be an educated woman. Whoop-de-whoop. The average career span of a female corporate lawyer is 5 years. They never wanted to be lawyers in the first damn place. Right?
I concede all my points to you.